Hi there, welcome to my vlog. My name's Kim and I want to talk to you about my condition thoracic outlet syndrome. In fact, I have the rarest form called arterial thoracic outlet syndrome, but also the true neurogenic form. So as my mother calls me, I'm a right tosser. So in the next 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, I face surgery for the first time and then another one in December. So I've decided to do this vlog to take you on the trials and tribulations of the last 20 years of being misdiagnosed and told I have chronic pain, take tablets and get on with it. So I hope you're ready for this journey with me. I'm not sure I am yet, but hopefully the next 2 weeks will prepare me. So I could moan about the 3 consultants, 9 physios and the £12,000 that I've spent on therapy over the last 20 years. But what's the point? I've got to get on with it now. So the point of this vlog is to encourage anybody who has extra cervical ribs, so in the lower neck, and numbness in their hand, to just nag and nag and nag and push to get someone to take you seriously. Sadly, it's taken so long for me that I now have muscle wasting in this hand. It's quite flat here and here, and apparently probably permanent nerve damage. So not so good, but hey, got to get on with it. Also, don't believe everything you see on the internet about TOS. There is so much information, and for many, neurogenic TOS is very painful. Now, for me, that's not the case. For 20 years, I have known that as I should put my shoulder back and put a rucksack on, my arm has gone numb, but I've never had pain. The only pain that I get is very much in my neck and my shoulder when I'm swimming, using a computer, or again wearing a rucksack. So that's all I really knew was going on. That's probably why it's not been diagnosed for so long. So 2.5 years ago, my hand started getting a lot worse. I started dropping things, and really painful when I slept in my neck and shoulder, and when I swam. So I had to give up swimming. It was that bad. But sadly, I also have degenerated discs in my neck and my lower back, and herniated discs in both. And so everybody, all the professionals that I saw, just gave me the label of, dare I say it, chronic pain. It seems when you get that label, unfortunately, that's it. That's what everyone reads to start with. But I kept pushing and pushing. Eventually I went private, and it was a radiographer that suggested to an orthopaedic consultant that it could be my cervical ribs, that he noticed a nerve going over the top of them. So the consultant said I might want to speak to my GP about seeing a vascular surgeon, but he warned that it was a dangerous operation, and unless my arm was falling off, then there wasn't much point to it. But my GP thought differently, so off I went about 3 months later to a vascular surgeon. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what notes he was reading, but I was devastated to receive a 10-minute lecture all about how I was there expecting him to remove my ribs and to everything would be fine, that all my pain would go, and I was expecting a miracle. He didn't even ask me my symptoms, he didn't ask me about my pain, anything, nothing about my lifestyle at all. So with that, I put my coat on, ready to leave, and he said, oh, hang on a moment, let's just check your radial pulse while you're here. So he put my arms out straight ahead, out to the side, and started moving them back towards my body, and about here on my left side and about here on my right side, my pulses stop. So he said, oh, it doesn't take much to turn your pulse off, does it? And I just went, well, I knew I had a problem, but didn't know what it was. And he said, right, we can definitely do the operation. It's definitely going to relieve those symptoms, and yeah, we'll get you in as soon as possible. So with that, I was just total whirlwind, but I went off for a Doppler ultrasound the week later, and it was amazing to see that literally I put my left shoulder back and now my pulse has stopped in my arm. It's all I have to do. Any position on my left side, there is absolutely no pulse whatsoever. Hence why I am very tired all the time. I've passed out on a couple of climbs before, because I used to be a rock climber, and I get very giddy if I'm straightening my hair or putting the washing up. The surgeon that I now see says that's all related to this arm. On my right side, it's not so bad. It's only when I'm driving that I get a numb arm in this one. So again, I have to think about my driving position. So what's a journey? I went to see the consultant. and unfortunately was greeted by a junior doctor who knew nothing about the operation at all, was telling me I'd be out in the same day, it was all about my veins. And I said, I know it's not, so you need to go and get the main man. He came and said he was leaving the NHS, so I was kind of back to square one, because he then said, oh, it's okay, my colleague will do it. He's very enthusiastic about new techniques. Not what you want to hear when your life is under someone's knife. So I got on the phone and I phoned around and found a couple of consultants that I was happy with, one in Exeter and one in London. But one in London is who I've gone with because my parents live near there. So yeah, totally different, and that's on the NHS. They would see me within a week, both of them would have. Very enthusiastic because they're specialists, and they were very pleased to have me. And in fact, when I went to London, I was greeted by him saying, I have all the time in the world for you this morning, Kim, to make sure that you fully understand everything and you're happy with the whole procedures. So what a difference. And it was NHS, which is fabulous. So he was the one that told me that my left hand was bad and that surgery needed to be a bit quicker because I had hoped to leave it for a while. So in less than 2 weeks' time, I face my first operation, and I don't really have a choice, which is a good thing, because I know some people and ah about this op, but I risk losing my hand or worse. So I hope you're going to follow me on this journey. And my main hope really is to raise awareness in professionals, especially GPs and physios, that if someone says they've got cervical ribs and they've got painful neck and numbness in their hands, please just do very, very simple, less than 5-minute tests, and you may be able to change their life. And to anyone out there with the label of chronic pain, please, if you think there's a medical reason why you've got that pain, then do push and see if you can find an answer like I have. Hopefully in a few weeks' time, possibly 6 weeks' time, I'll be able to reveal to you that my symptoms have decreased. I hope so. Anyway, chins up for now, and hope you'll join me again. Thank you. Bye.